Welcome to another hour of Advanced Living Radio. This is Kenneth Lesser, thrilled and delighted to be your host today. Oh, yes, we're on target for more fun and adventure, and I'm telling you, the commitment we've made to help you to make your life better, to provide tools and inspiration. Why? Well, daily I pray. I say, Heavenly Father, show me the best ways to have the most fun inspiring the largest number of people to easily, naturally, joyously experience vibrantly, exquisitely, healthy, wealthy, passionate living in the shortest amount of time with the least intrusion into their lives so that we can all get our needs met and celebrate a global loving community that works for everyone. Oh, yes, that's a fun task. That'll keep me busy for this life, I'm sure, and in the process, of course, to bring to you week after week something that's going to help. And the feedback that we get from you when we're on target and your lives get better quickly, we hear from you saying,
"That was easy."
Yep, that was easy. And get ready for some wonderful, wonderful support. You know, sometimes in the midst of all the busyness of life going on, you've heard of just people getting stressed out or concerned or worried or nervous. Well, our guest today basically has written some wonderful books, and one of them is called Anxiety Sucks, and you know it. I mean, I'll tell you, it's awful. You know, if you've been feeling anxious, worried, concerned, it just can sometimes be insidious, sneaks up, and it becomes a freaking nightmare to get out of. Well, until you get with some of the people who know what it's like to be in that place, sometimes we're stuck in that. Well, our guest today, Dr. Emily Smith, is amazing. When you start to learn about some of the things that she has done, and how we're going to get some help of dealing with anxiety and connectedness to joy that are going to be some powerful tools to help move through these times, you're in for a big treat. Dr. Emily Smith is very well-credentialed and well-studied, but she likes to be called Emily. She got a Bachelor of Science in Exercise Science and Wellness, and then a minor in Nutrition from Jacksonville State University. She has a Master's of Physiology and a PhD specializing in, guess what? Yeah, you'd think, okay, all this physical stuff. So what's your PhD in? Comparative Religion from the University of Sedona. So she's graduate of the Atlanta School of Massage in Clinical and Neuromuscular Massage Therapy, as well as Dr. Voder's Manual Lymph Drainage Therapy, and she is a universal yoga teacher in Sivananda Yoga, as well as Usui and Kurana Ki Reiki Master. I mean, we're talking about some powerful energy work, and can bend her basically in about any shape you want, okay? That's how flexible this woman is. Plus, for those of you that get into some of the esoteric, she is also a Seven Rays practitioner working directly with the Ascended Master. And with all of her studies in the health and healing field, it was still not enough to prevent her from suffering years with anxiety and panic. So, yeah, you think all this is going to take care of it. Well, guess what? She tried for a full 7 years to heal from anxiety without the help of medication. And finally, after those years, and life got more difficult, she caved in and gave it a try. And it turns out that a small dose of a medication did change her life for the better. Now, she does not promote medication, but does not in any way dismiss it either anymore. So, yeah, sometimes a little bit of the right chemical altering for a temporary period can give us what we need. And she now understands that the brain is indeed an organ, and sometimes it needs medical intervention to help get it balanced. And she also understands that the mind is not the same thing as the brain and also requires a great deal of healing and coping skills to make the combination of intervention and authentic healing possible. So, yeah, talk about someone that's been there, pulled herself out of it, has connections to the medical community because sometimes that's needed. Well, folks, you're in for a big treat. Welcome, Dr. Emily Smith.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me today. I've been looking forward to this ever since I met you.
Well, thank you. Me too. This is a big treat, and we know folks out there are just so much stress for the average person that if they're not physically very ill, they're on their way to it because of all the mental and emotional angst and stress and anxiety. Now, in the midst of all of this, one of the things that's so interesting is sometimes we keep reaching out. Who's going to help me? Who's going to help me?
Yes.
And
who's going to make it better for me? Because
yes.
You give your trust. Really, when you're looking for a lot of different people, and I was always doing this, I was always reading self-help books. I was always going to a different healer or a different doctor or trying everything, literally. But what it does is you're trying to give somebody else permission for you to heal. And even if they do an amazing job, if you haven't given every cell in your body permission to heal, you won't. You have to really understand that, first of all, I have to say, when it comes to anxiety, I truly believe that our lifestyles as a whole, the body is not really conditioned to take all the stressors that we have. You know, I'm going to speak mostly for women right now. Women weren't originally doing the mother and the working thing. This is double the whammy. This is why a lot of women are starting to lose their hair the way that men always did. The adrenals, the body, and the same for the men. The men are having to do, double duty. The things that the human body was conditioned for, we have pushed so far past it. It's why everybody's pushing different balancing vitamins, herbs, supplements, free radicals, things to eradicate the free radicals. But because all of the pollution and the things that we have done in the name of money has pushed our bodies into a space that's extremely difficult to handle. So even if somebody's listening to the show and they are not privy to anxiety, their body is still under a major amount of stress that I truly believe the human body was not conditioned and made for. It's why when we go to the mountains or we go on vacation, you get rid of the city energy and you feel like a different person because your body is more open to that sort of energy and that sort of understanding. Our minds, they aren't the same thing. The mind-body, of course, is connected. But the mind and the brain, like you said, they're not the same thing. So I definitely... I want to put that out there that I do believe that everybody is under duress, and be a little kinder with yourself and understand that everybody is in that same space. I mean, unless you've been one of those lucky few that has enough money to go buy a house in the mountains and, live out there and live on the land, you may be one of the few that don't know what we're talking about. Maybe.
Right.
Wow. But in general life, anxiety it's become a major part of life. It's everywhere. It's running rampant. And it's funny, it's timing. My Anxiety Sucks book came out right when the economic crisis hit. And so now anxiety has become such a universal term. Whereas when I first